Hello.
Blake the Builder.
Okay, I'm not sure.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Free Admissions, and this is the Gym Crashers with me, Joey the Bull, Dondo, and Blake the Builder.
Hey.
Yeah,
I wish I was getting that announced.
Hell yeah.
Hey, you know, people hire me. I can do bar mitzvahs. I can do everything. Divorce parties.
Call someone up
Precious.
to the state. Yeah, Precious.
Put your hairy palms together for Precious. And make sure to tip your lovely bartenders working hard for you tonight. Next on the main stage, Blake the Builder.
Get your dollar bills ready for Blake the Builder.
And he's going to be dancing to a little beady beady bum bum from Salinas in the house.
Salina, anything for the beautiful Salinas. It's like my favorite part.
So I see you're sporting a Selena shirt. What does that represent? You're like a big fan of like Latin American style music, or just she thought she was hot and had a big ass?
I just love Latinas, honestly.
Oh,
It's
damn.
Like, you know, like it's all I like, honestly. Like I only date Latinas, so it's just
you,
like
brother.
seems suitable. And my homie painted this actually, yeah.
Oh wow,
Good
Yeah, my
job.
boy Caesar. So I got this and a poster with it. So.
nice. So dating Latinas and getting introduced to the family side, do you feel like they cater to you a lot when they're feeding you all their food? Because normally when you go to a Latino house, there's a lot of food. They won't leave. They make sure you have leftovers to bring home.
And that's honestly that's by far my favorite thing about Mexican families. It's like everybody's not everybody. So like everybody either loves each other or they like eventually like hate each other and they have like a resentment, but like they come together. And my ex's mom, ¿Tú quieres más? ¿Tú quieres más? I'm like, no, mi pelea, por favor. ¿Tú no
This
quieres?"
guy, dude.
I'm like,
Wow.
well, un poquito. And she's like, oh, un poquito, yeah. Sí.
But when she says to get as much, she give me that eye like when you want me instead, mijo.
Joey.
Like I always wonder why she like licked her lips, you know?
Yeah, like I
I was
wanna,
like, maybe she's like hungry, like maybe she's
I wanna eat your elote.
Whoa.
some chorizo.
Hello.
Salchicha.
Anyway, we got Blake the Builder in the house. Awesome, dude. Finally get to meet you. I mean, I heard a lot about you, and now it's just the first time. So, what's up, brother?
Man,
Right?
not a lot. Just
We
trying
don't
to
need to bump
survive during
knuckles.
this quarantine.
It's COVID, Joe. That's why you got gloves on.
Well, I got gloves on because you know, I like these. They kind of look cool after wearing them for a while.
About to rob somebody.
Yeah.
So what you been up to? What keeps you busy? Because you are a training machine.
Man, it's been like, I mean, honestly, like, quarantine life is like my regular life.
So you haven't changed a damn thing.
I really haven't changed a thing. Like, you know, like, a couple of the gyms that I go to, everybody gets all sensitive, so I'm not going to name them, but they stayed open, and
Hell yeah.
it was allowed for the pros to come in,
Mhm.
you know, the best of the best guys, you know, so we stayed training. I stayed ready. I thought that I was going to be fighting April 5th, and that got pulled out from under me 3 weeks out, and so, you know, the new date was July 12th, so we're like, all right, you know, we're staying ready. Like, I'm not gonna get out of shape, you know, like, this is a lifestyle for me. I'm a martial artist, you know, so, you know, like, guys that get ready for fights, they aren't martial artists. You know, like, they have camps, guys that are like that.
Sure.
You know, like, I don't have a camp. My life is a camp. You know, so I just stay ready, and, you know, I went back home for a little bit, which is Minnesota, and I left
Oh
a
my
few
God,
days.
the epicenter of it all.
Oh,
man.
jeez.
My buddy got me a hat that says the Minnesotan, and I had to retire it for at least a month because
Yeah.
it's just sad. I got in, I hooked up a security camera system because I used to do that back for like work when I was living there, and went there for a few days, hooked up a few systems for some Dairy Queens.
Oh,
And,
man.
and the owner calls me and he's like, "Man, it's so good that you got these just in time."
Wow.
Because now we had to shut our doors because they're looting in St.
God,
Paul.
that's
it's not
crazy.
just Minneapolis, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Got in and out at the perfect time. So I've just been working. I've been training a lot of people. People were scared at first, and now people are starting to open up and they're realizing, I don't know, like. I don't know what your guys' stance on it, but I think
You gotta live, brother.
I
It's-
think you're fed, magic fairy dust, and I don't know. I
This
don't
place
believe in a
never
virus.
closed. This building we're in never closed.
Yeah.
It was open for the worst of the worst, not the best
Oh,
of
yeah.
the best.
The worst of the worst.
We were all here, so
we'll
we
take
proved
them
it.
all. You got COVID-19, come on.
It's all good. We'll just sweat it out.
We'll get immune. I think I already had it.
He's coughing the other direction. Robert says he's had it too. So
I got it. I know I had it. I mean, I don't know that I haven't. I haven't got the test, but in January, I guarantee I did because I was sick as I've ever been for a week, and my roommate didn't get it.
And you, being as strongly set up as you are, just to piss through it in a week, I probably would have died. So I'm gonna assume I didn't get it.
Yeah, I thought for sure that, like, there was one night where I was like, Lord, I lay me down to sleep, and I finished that prayer, and I was like, hey, I take that back. I'm not falling asleep.
Wild.
I was like, I don't like the feel of it. I'm gonna stay up all night. Like, it's not a good look.
Do you know anybody who actually had it? Because I know only one person, or maybe two people, and nobody that I know was.
I don't know what anybody.
Isn't that crazy? That's
I don't
what I
know
hear
one person.
mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corona.
Coronavirus.
Oh, I know somebody whose entire family had it.
Really?
Whole family?
Yeah.
Are they in Chihuahua, Mexico? Where are they at?
No, they're
Antarctica? Yeah.
Santa Monica, or no, where is it? Santa Barbara. That's where they went.
the other
to school.
Santa.
Yeah, it's my high school friend. Her and her boyfriend caught it, and then her boyfriend's whole entire family had it. They just felt like, normal bad flu, whatever.
Cool.
The grandpa almost passed away from it. But
Grandpa.
then- yeah, but then he he finally went to the doctor. It got better and all that, and they all recovered.
There's like a 103-year-old lady that got it,
There was a
survived.
vet. There was a World War II vet that
Yeah.
survived.
Yeah, that guy too. Yeah.
Some dude in England was like 109 or something. It was some
Yeah.
crazy thing, lived through 2 world
favorite
wars,
thing,
and
like-
survived COVID.
Yeah, they asked him, they're like, how'd you beat it? He's like, I don't know.
Fish and chips.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, the one lady celebrated with like a Bud Light.
Nice.
Nuts.
In a bong.
Yeah, probably.
Right. Oh, they did say something about CBD, like curving. I don't know if it's proven or not, but they do say it. So
Yeah.
shout out to Our Life CBD.
But right now, they're making a big.
CBD.
Save it
That's
up.
right. That's right.
That's the one. If you ain't got it, order
Right.
yourself some.
Yep.
Trust me, believe
Hit 'em.
that. If you have skin conditions, which I have psoriasis, autoimmune disorder. I mean, it healed my hands. I got it. I used to cover my body, but I get it on my hands and stuff. I mean, the citrus cream just healed it right up. So.
Good.
But it's been great so far. I'm not saying great, but watching the news. I mean, people out there, please. If your parents and your kids are out there, whip their ass because they're out there. I mean, they're out there doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
I mean, breaking into buildings and offices and people's businesses that are barely surviving, like mom and pop places. And thank God they have guys out there with freaking heavy artillery trying to scare these fools off because unfortunately the police are not doing it. So obviously
about that.
it has to happen.
Heard about that.
But at the same time, it's like, talking about the coronavirus. It was nice not hearing the news at all, talking about corona at all. And and it makes you
First
think,
time in a while.
and it makes you think a little bit, like, is this a whole big, like,
It is.
and to me, I mean,
Simple guy.
a lot of back and forth beliefs are back there. I'm kind of like person that's on that
Joey
side.
Going to do this because this is Joey's thing. He's a man on the street, so he wants to talk about people on the street.
Yeah, and honestly, it really pisses me off. I don't want to throw the show off. I'm just going to say this for a quick second.
I don't want to lose him.
Yeah.
No, we're not. And it pisses me off because, all these people, I respect people that want to go out there and protest peacefully. I respect that big time. But when you have these young, dumb kids that want to put it on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok to show, oh, look, I got myself a Gucci wallet. I got myself some Chanel. I got myself all. You pieces of shit. I mean, like I said, you don't realize what you're doing to your community.
What's Joey the Bull are all about Joey the Bull.
No. What I'm saying is that this is the honest to God truth. Say if your buddy decides to destroy the target. Well, maybe your buddy you don't realize that target your mom or dad worked at to make a living for your home. Now it's done. Now, how's your mom and dad supposed to work? And you're destroying the community. And it's just bullshit. I want to leave it at that because I don't want to go too far. But people study your history. People study your shit. Because believe it or not, back when I was in high school, I was part of the BSU. If you look at BSU, it was the Black Student Union. Oh. Don't ask why. I was me. But back in the day, back then, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But you know what?
Got them black gloves on.
Ungawa, Black Power. And honestly,
you got more pale.
No, I'm just saying. I studied a lot of stuff about history. I mean, there was more than Martin Luther King. There was more than Malcolm X. There was a lot of leaders of all different shades of colors, and that did a lot for this country. And if you read and took your time to read about some of these leaders that did civil rights for all of us to do what we got to do here, and you got to realize it's not because it was all blacks. There was a lot of black slaves. There was a lot of Hispanic slaves. There was a lot of Asians, and of course the Irish settlers, the Irish folks. There were slaves too. Yeah. So I mean, you got to realize you got to do your history, folks, and it happens, and the Jewish, which I mean, I love my wife. My wife's Jewish. Love her, baby. If you're watching,
That's been their plight. That's the whole Bible.
And then you got to realize, folks, we're all in the same gang here, and you had one apple that destroyed everything, and I hope they take care of that apple and do something with it, but it should be done and over with. I get it. Yeah. I've been harassed by police. I've been pulled over. I've been in handcuffs. I've been beaten by police officers. But to the point where, did I deserve it?
Hey, when they handcuff you, Joe, do they use those straps because they don't have handcuffs big enough?
No, back in the day when I was a lot more thinner, I wasn't actually in handcuffs. But
they're all trying to do it. Oh, put them up front.
But
come down right now.
But believe it or not, when I was you guys are assholes.
That's right.
No, but I was actually
gonna need a lift, a forklift.
I was actually double cuffed one time, and that was when I was involved in a case where they were trying to it was attempted murder, and it turned out to be 2 felony charges. Where after that, it turned out that I was innocent.
You murdered a burger.
No, and so
I killed it. It was a 4-decker with chili on it.
So I had the double cuffs, and it was pretty hard to put my hands behind my back.
Did you kill that combo?
Yes, I did. But back to what I was saying, folks. People, please educate your children. Parents, take care of your children. I know it's hard. Everybody has jobs, but dude, that's all you see right now is all those kids out there looting, looking stupid. I mean, you have adults. I want to smack you over the head like, wake up, brother.
You said it.
Wake up.
You know what? You got good people like Blake the Builder. He's actually leading the way for the youth. Twice his age. I'm sure of it. I'm certain of it. And this man is doing his thing, and he's training people, and he's bringing them in and turning their lives around. The Builder system.
I mean, honestly, if you give me an hour with you, I mean, I will change the game. Like, I think a lot of people think that they know how to train, but it's just like Floyd Mayweather said. Most people don't know shit about boxing or about martial arts. Like, most people don't really grasp how to throw a punch, how to implant with the knuckles, how to flick, how to step, and how it translates. Like, it's all feet up. You gotta learn with your feet, then your knees, then your hips, and then your shoulders, and then your hands. Like, your hands are just objects, and then it's all translated from the bottom half of your body on up, and then you can start doing head work or head movement. But you got to keep those hands up. Everybody's trying to be like Floyd, and people are teaching so much
garbage.
So much garbage these days. It drives me insane. And I love when I have somebody new because it's like a fresh slate. I'm like, have you ever trained before? They're like, no. I'm like, perfect. Everything that I tell you, and I gotta get them to listen. I gotta get hey, it's cool that I did these accomplishments. I won the Golden Gloves twice. It's the Upper Midwest Golden Glove champ, ringside world champion. I won all these belts. That's cool. Great.
I think that's cool.
But it doesn't matter how much I know if I can't translate the information. And I learned a certain way, and I got to learn how they learn. Mm-hmm. And most people, I think most people don't take enough time to to learn how to teach.
I think you're
and
right.
learn how to educate.
Yeah.
The one thing I always love about, like, you know, Blake and the way that he teaches people, and I always, you know, I ask him all
I didn't
the
know
time.
you two knew each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam.
Adam the Arabi's in the house.
Hello. Hola chingada.
No, but like I always ask Blake questions and there's like more than one answer. But like one of the things that I think Blake gets right, and that I see a lot of trainers like better than most, is like it's not just like martial arts or the techniques he's teaching you. He'll then also, along with like the martial arts he's teaching you, teach you the right fitness that goes along with that said martial art. So it's like
That's
if
cool.
you're learning boxing, you know, very cardio intensive, he'll teach you how to get your cardio up. Or like I was asking him about just combining MMA with lifting, like, you know, and I realized I was like, damn, I'm really done with this, and he got all the answers. Like,
That's
definitely a learn.
Time in the game right there, man.
Now, real quick, we got a guy named Jaden Culver. He says 3 strong guys. Are you guys good at boxing? Do you guys know a guy named Jaden Culver?
What's up, Jaden?
No.
Come on down the studio.
Maybe
I
somebody.
mean, there's levels to this shit, you know, but yeah, I'm pretty damn good at boxing, you know.
Yeah.
And I know it. You know, it's in.
I mean,
I wouldn't think that I was good if I didn't take the risk, right? Like when I went out to the 2016 Ringside Worlds, I had just won an MMA fight 4 days before, and
Wow.
my coach wanted to see me out wrestle a wrestler. So I go, all right, I'm not gonna beat this guy. I'm gonna terrorize him for 3 rounds. I'm not gonna finish him on purpose. Because this guy is a good wrestler. He wrestled his whole life. Say, this guy wrestled, yeah? Yeah. Perfect. I'm not going to finish him. I'm going to terrorize him. And I did. Picked him up, slammed him against the cage, dumped him.
Oh, jeez.
Racking him. And I made sure that it wasn't enough to the point that he would quit, but that he would keep coming out. And then when I finished the fight, my coach, Tom Schmitz, at Spartan Martial Arts in Minnesota I was like, hey, what'd you think, coach? Time to go pro, yeah? He goes, would like to see you knock him out. I go, dude, you said you wanted to see me out wrestle a wrestler. I was like, I did 3 rounds.
and this is coming from a guy that's a 2-time Golden Glove champion here, right? Am I correct?
Yeah. And
That's just crazy.
Yeah, and I won the Golden Gloves in 2013 in Georgia. So I was the
Making
Georgia
bacon.
State champion, making bacon, and yeah, so it pissed me off, and I didn't get touched that whole fight. So I go, okay, well, I'm gonna find a boxing coach now, and so I found a guy who used to go to my old gym off of Rice Street, and I hit mitts with him. He goes, hey Blake, man, what you doing on Tuesday? I was like, Tuesday? I was like, training? Why? What's up? And he's like, hey man, you trying to go to the Ringside Worlds? I was like, to fight? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I just fought yesterday. And he's like, I mean, you look good though. I was like,
Tuned
yeah,
up.
true. I was like, all right. I was like, you think we could get like licensed and registered in time? Yeah, no problem. I know the lady. So we went to this lady's house, got everything set. Boom. Tuesday, I'm heading out. I fight. Let's say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Won the Ringside Worlds on
Don't
Sunday.
ever try that in California. It'll
Yeah.
never happen. Our commission doesn't function that way.
I know that's right.
Jeez. That's
That's
an
crazy.
amazing story.
Yeah, 4 days later, after I beat that guy, I went and fought 4 days in a row, and I won the Ringside World Tournament in 2016.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Robert.
Jaden's in middle school and he's from
Jaden.
Maryland.
Right on.
Oh,
Maryland.
wow.
What's up, dude? So you need
What's up,
boxing
Jaden?
lessons, come to L.A. See,
From Maryland. They're watching us way over there, huh?
From Orange County. They got
right?
boxing in
Oh,
Maryland?
Orange County. You're in Orange County?
Orange
Some of
County.
that stuff I see in you're all over the place.
I am all over the place, man.
Okay.
I'm a man of many places. I was just in Colorado.
Right on.
He's like a legitimate gypsy. He just goes everywhere.
I am gypsy.
Yeah. Like you ever?
Wow.
I am
remember
gypsy.
even watching like the boxing fight, Fast and Fury 2. This fool never sat down. Like he was just always moving. Like,
Yeah.
So I know
Blood, bro.
I know you brought up the whole thing about loving Latin women. So are you like maybe like one of those boxers? I see a lot of pro fighters that are either African American. They'll come out with like some Latin music in the background. Will you ever do that in your next fight?
Of course. Yeah. Honestly,
I can
I
see
was
this
even
guy
thinking-
doing that.
because my boxing coach Arian Moro Lara. He gave me my nickname when I was back in Minnesota because I used to hit passes with him and his hands would be shaking like this afterwards. And he's like, Blake, you know who the fuck you are? And I was like, who? He goes, Pinche al animal. I was like, the what? And he's like, the animal. He's like, the fucking animal. I was like, yeah, I'm the fucking animal. Hell yeah, I like that shit.
The animal.
Let's throw some putazos, you know, like
That
let's
is
go. So
funny.
That's been it. So for the next fight, I was gonna come out and like, I'll ruin the surprise. I was gonna come out in like some like zebra, leopard print, like almost like
Los Tigres del Norte type of stuff.
yeah.
That's crazy. That's
So I
awesome.
was gonna come out in that, sponsors all decked
I
out.
remember I got to be there for the brainstorming of this. Like, he started going so in depth. He's like, "Yeah, Chewy, you'll come out on my back in a whole battle."
Hell yeah.
Like in
come out,
like in Ace Ventura, and then when nature calls, he goes
yeah,
out,
yeah.
and the little guy hops out.
I didn't know you were a biter. Love that.
All right.
That's funny.
So good.
That's awesome. That's just one of the questions I wanted to ask. That's awesome. So now that everything's going back to normal a little bit, I know they're talking about fights happening next year, but do you see yourself doing anything any time in the near future with like jiu-jitsu or anything like that?
Yeah,
so far.
Any opportunity that presents itself, like I'm ready. Like July 12th. I mean, we just got the news. It was heartbreaking. I kind of already knew that it was gonna be coming, but July 12th is off. I got the news from Carlos Rivera. So he said that don't return the tickets. That they're gonna get new ones to us, and that the people that bought tickets it's still good for the next show.
What were you set up for? What promotion was that?
It was King of the Cage.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
It was King of the Cage.
I
It was
love
for
that.
April 5th, and then COVID hit March 15. So it was like 3
That's
weeks
exactly
before.
when it hit. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, basically, I mean, I'm training every day. I'm waiting for anything to pop up, so I can pop off,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So jiu-jitsu, boxing, I'll go pro next week if they let me.
Yeah, I need to get back in training because I've been calling out Mike Tyson lately. So everybody laughs about that, but I'll save that story for later. But
Yeah, I like
please.
that.
Save
I
it
like
for
that.
later. You've had it on 20 episodes. It's a dead horse.
I know it's a dead horse, but Mike Tyson, I'll still kick your
How
ass.
about Fluffy? I want to see that, right?
Well, me and Gabriel Iglesias.
He's been working out. He's been doing the Diamond Dallas Page thing, right?
No, he stopped. He gotten fatter again. He got real skinny. He got. We'll have a
the moment.
we'll have a comedy standoff.
No. I want to see the takedown challenge, the sumo style.
No, I feel sorry if I hit.
Off, diapers on, you and Fluffy.
I'll feel sorry if I hit Fluffy, man. It's just I don't know, man.
Well, just go belly to belly.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What's the goal of sumo? To push the guy out of the ring? Or just do the sumo.
It's either to push the guy out of the ring or for him to fall any point other than his feet falls downward.
Yeah,
See, I will-
If the feet touches, that's you lost.
I'd like to do that with Robert one day.
Anthony Rumble Johnson did that.
Yeah, he got plowed over.
He got taken off.
I wonder if
right
we
away.
could get Joey and Robert to do that here in the ring.
Oh jeez.
Oh man,
That would be
Robert would destroy
that'd be
me.
great.
Yeah, Robert's pretty agile.
Gym crashers.
Yep.
Yokozuna. Hey, you got
the champion
those
sumo.
outfits that you can wear, the big old sumo.
We don't need them.
Oh, hell yeah. Robert's got a friend with him.
Versace
No,
belt.
they
Yeah.
have them downstairs.
They got him?
John bought them.
Oh, well, that's
But Robert, I don't need those suits.
Well, whatever.
Yokozuna versus Tugboat.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna
I'm
wear
trying
the
to compete too,
I'm
like.
wearing the suits and you jump, don't touch me. You're rubbing that stuff on me.
Adam's
Waldo
like a
definitely
twig.
needs that suit.
That is awesome.
We'll stuff Adam in one of those outfits.
Oh
You
jeez.
need like
He
3.
has to do the belly bounce.
Poor Adam. We'll launch that
For a
kid.
reason, he loves the abuse.
He loves it.
He trains down there with
does.
Adam Lynn. He's fine.
Oh yeah,
That's
Right?
right.
that's true.
That's right. Best in the game, man.
Yes.
Him and Chewy.
How long you been down there with Adam?
I've been with Adam for a little over a year now.
Cool.
Yeah, for a little over a year. That guy's changed my life. Yeah.
I believe it. He's set up for COVID because he takes off his shirt and it just says "step back."
Yeah.
He's made for it.
He really is, man.
For real.
Machine gun tattoos.
Yeah.
Right?
Adam's the OG. And now it's like we're like really the the brother gym right now is like Raw Talent Boxing,
Yeah.
Chewy
Yeah.
Gutierrez,
For sure.
and Adam Lynn, sub fighter. So Adam's just like tying that MMA feel to it, and then
Chewy brings the
Chewy's bringing
the footwork, the hands, everything,
the
right?
footwork, the hands out of people, man. Chewy's something else, bro. Like
People are coming from all over.
And he's building
Yeah.
champs, dude.
He got some secret people that people don't even know that train.
He's building champs.
Yeah. He's a lot of people that even their coaches don't know
That's
that
sneaky.
they train there.
I know a guy from the
Yep.
South Bay that's over there.
Whoa.
Yep.
From San Pedro.
Yeah, there's a
This
few
guy.
people that they have to like go, they can't tell their coach, but they still go to him, and then you see them landing. They're creeping, boom, they're landing like the shots that we're calling. It's like, go figure. Not surprised.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What's a goal for you right now? Because you're top of your game, probably best you've ever been.
100%.
How do you get to that next level? How do you keep motivated?
Man, you know what? It's like sometimes you just gotta play games with yourself. Like sometimes, like I'll lie to myself. Like I'll make shit up in my head and like that to motivate myself. Or I'll give myself like small goals. Like I told myself today that if I go to training, I could have a Snicker bar. And I didn't get the Snicker bar, but
I would have the Snicker bar. I never went to train.
I gotta go train today. I'll reward myself later with it. And instead of getting something that wouldn't make me feel good, I got strawberries. I was like, I'll get the sugar fix that way. But it's like for me, I'm constantly innovating, and I think of like the people. Honestly, I think about the people that back me.
Mm-hmm.
I think about like Our Life CBD or like Dr. Kessler,
Yeah.
OC Fight Docs, Massage Matters, all these people that back me, and I think about why I came down here. Like I packed my car full of my stuff and was just like, all right, I'm gonna go live in this fighter house now.
I know me and Robert saw you early on when you came, and that's why he wanted to film you. That's why he put that stuff together a few years ago. Because, man, we could see. I mean, we just got to get this thing going. COVID's got to stop.
Yeah.
They got to be able to
Right
showcase
there.
what you can do.
Oh, man.
3 weeks out, man.
That's
3
crazy.
weeks out.
So it's coming.
And so, I mean, I'm hungrier than ever. Like for me, it's just a way of life, honestly. I'll never stop training. Like, it's just like I said, like guys. Like, hey, you got a fight coming up. You're gonna be fighting this person. Like, okay, let's start camp. Like, no, like that's so weak-minded. Like, if you gotta start a camp to fight, like, I think it'll be short-lived for you. You gotta really love it, and I do. I've dedicated my whole life to this, and it's paid off in ways that I would have never imagined. And I wrote this thing. I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and then I revisited like an old notebook, and it turns out I have literally everything that I wrote down from 3, 4, 5 years
Incredible.
ago. Everything. Like I said that I would live in a mansion in Southern California.
That apartment's a mansion, huh?
I thought I would own the house. I currently live in a mansion in Orange County.
I love that.
Yeah, it's just like how does that happen? Thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions.
that's
actions
for
lead to
sure.
Results. It's
That's
a
for
process of manifestation. If you don't write it down, it's just pixie dust.
So coming from Minnesota, now you're in Orange County, California, in a mansion, doing your thing,
Doing my thing.
showcasing all your talent.
Yeah,
You're there, dude.
I'm right there. I can taste it.
I like that.
I can taste it, and I got to spar with like all these high level guys, and kind of see where I was at. I was Cheeto's, Marlon Cheeto Rivera's like main sparring partner when he's getting ready for his fights,
Yeah.
And
He's already there, yeah.
Alex Perez. I mean, and then turns out my homie Razak, who has just been starching guys in the UFC. I was training with him in Texas and back in Minnesota. My buddy Cooley, he got into the glory. Like my homie Mark De La Rosa, he fights June 6th with Alex Perez. Like all these guys around me. Like all of them are making it. I just feel like my time is still coming.
Yeah.
And people that don't know, people that live regular lives, people that work at an office job, people that aren't aren't hungry. You know, somebody can tell you what they think you are, but they don't have my vision. They don't see the things the way I see them. How was Yoel Romero? If he believed what some other scrub was telling him, you know, like, he wouldn't be, he's like, 40, 41?
He wouldn't be a free man.
42.
Think of where he came from.
42 years old, and he's still, nobody wants to fight him. Adesanya fought him, but nobody wants to fight the guy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, and I'm 29. I'll be 30 next month.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're just still pumping away. You got plenty of
Spring
time.
chicken.
I like it.
I feel good, man. Most people just don't know how to like create natural testosterone in their body by tearing up them legs, and most people I think are just stuck in their head.
That's true.
You know, I think people are just stuck in their head, and they, I think COVID happened because a lot of people wanted it to happen, subconsciously. People are always looking for an issue. People are always looking for a problem, and if you try and feed them a solution, they don't want it. So for me, I'm solution oriented. I want the fights. I want to be in there. I want to do it. I'm gonna go pro in boxing. I'm gonna be a champ, MMA and boxing.
Hell yeah.
And if you don't believe me, like, stay tuned. I promise you, stay tuned.
And I like what you're saying, because, you know, I mean, I'm in the same boat. You know, I have my beautiful wife. She tries to push me and encourage me to, you know, go out and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Go out for a walk. And, you know, and I got to admit, I'm getting lazy. I need that motivation. My wife tries her best to give me that motivation, and I love her to death for it. But there's times where I'm like, damn, like me, I always think about back then. And I gotta stop doing that, because back then, I was weighing at 220. Back when I was 25, I was boxing gym for 5 hours a day from Monday through Friday, and sparring day was Saturday, and my Sunday was my rest day. And I was boxing I was sparring with the best fighters you ever think of at the time. You know, and now they're somewhat retired. But it just sucks, because I want to start pushing myself, and I hate. You know, like I said, when my lady tells me something, I kind of, oh no, I'm good. But I kick myself in the ass every time when I tell her no when she comes back from her walk. And I'm like, damn, I should have went out with her, because that means I could have lost a little more weight, building more strength in my legs. That's why I hate wearing these damn compression socks. That's why I hate sleeping in my sleep app machine. That's why I hate being a 400 and some damn pounds and type 2 diabetic, you know? Yeah. So I got to get myself back to where I want to be, where and there's no way I can be back at 220. When I could see myself being at 230 maybe, 240, but 220 that's when I was, you know, a lot younger, and
you just walk, like Blake just said.
Yeah.
You're gonna build that test.
I gotta build that motivation.
Little bit by little bit. You just gotta let it compound.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how anything
and
happens in life, and it's purpose over pleasure.
Yeah, and I blame it on myself. Like I said, I give a lot of love to my wife, and she motivates me. But it's just like I tell her, oh, maybe tomorrow, or maybe I'm doing. You know,
you have to take 3 things in life that if you complain, blame, and justify, I read a book where he said, take your thumb to your throat and literally go like this. Anytime you complain, blame, or justify. And anytime you get involved in like, because if I'm sitting here, if we're complaining, I'm not even listening to what you're saying. Yeah. I'm just waiting for my turn to complain.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And if I'm justifying, then it's everybody else. And then I feel like it's right what I did. Oh, you know, of course, this guy that I don't know that I saw on the news got killed. So, of course, it's okay for me to go and loot and burn down somebody's building that I don't know and who is an upstanding citizen and decided to be an entrepreneur and probably invested their whole life in a brick and mortar place, and then it gets burnt up. And you think that the government is going to pay for that?
Hell no.
To pay for that.
The government ain't got no money anymore.
And then if you blame everybody else, you're never the problem. It's always a scapegoat. It's always something. It's always somebody. It's always somewhere. But it's never you. Mm-hmm. And once you take 100% responsibility for your actions, then magic, everything just starts happening the way it should, and the truth will always set you free. And that's how I live my life.
So basically, you just man up.
Just man up.
I mean, that's what you're describing.
Yeah, just sack up.
That's exactly what I tell my kids. I have 2 boys or 3 boys. I tell my boys when they, you know, hey, sometimes you're getting a little older. Sometimes you just gotta man up and push through, move through it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's important, man.
Yeah. And anytime, like when I read that, it resonated with me because I go because he cited examples. He's like. Just wait. And for me, I'm always like beta testing. I'm always just like A/B testing in real life in real time of like, all right, you know, like if I get in a conversation with this person about just complaining, like we're complaining about this, at the end of it, what gets done and how do I feel? And I found it, what T. Harv Eker wrote in the book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, to be true. And I thought that it was going to be about money, but it's not about money. It's about the mindset. It's about the feelings. It's about your thoughts, feelings, and actions, and how that leads to a result, or inactions, which leads to a result, right? Not going for the walk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you know you should.
I know.
You know, and you know that, you know, that's just how I feel.
Words of inspiration, Joe. You got him right here telling you.
Yeah, of course. And
man.
and I have my lovely lady at the home. She did the same thing for me. And I feel like, you know, I kick myself in the ass every time, you know, when she asks me every time and she comes back and I'm thinking, damn, like I should have went.
Yeah.
And then
Scale and put you on it and start challenging you week by week.
it should.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Right? Then you're accountable.
The people that make it on my program are the people that do what I say. I go, look, this is such a simple program. It's so simple that it's so easy to do and it's so easy to not do.
Yeah.
You'll look, and I even tell them, I'm like, look, it's gonna look basic. You're gonna be like, this is it? I already know this. And it's like, yeah, that's it.
So the skeleton of the Bilder system is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
What you do for people.
Yeah, the Bilder system. Save yourself time, effort, and money. I don't want people spending their whole lives on Atkins diet and eating like crap and feeling insecure about themselves and wearing a t-shirt at the beach. Save yourself time, effort, and money.
Yeah.
Time, effort, and money.
How does it feel when you're able to transform somebody's life? I mean, you're a fighter, and that's one aspect of your life, right?
Right.
But what I find really cool, man, it's very inspiring watching you and seeing how you're not only changing your life, but you're inspiring other people to change yours. How does it make you feel? You know, seeing that progression, seeing somebody that you started out with who probably was insecure, you know, overweight, not feeling good about themselves, and work with you, and actually progress and you know, better themselves. How does that make you feel, man?
I mean, honestly, like the reward from that, I really understand, because I was always like, growing up, it was just like you need to take because somebody else might get it before you. It's like, you know, like it's like the food like mentality of like, oh, there might not be enough, you know, so you got to get as much as you can when you can. And now that like my main,
you tapped me on the arm for that. My
What are you trying to say? I'm sexy.
I'm big and beautiful, baby. Come on.
fight me for tacos.
My wife loved my titties.
It's beautiful because now it's focused not so much on like what I'm getting out of it, but on how best I can serve this person. What are you trying to do? What are your goals? Are you serious about them? Like what are things that trigger you to go the opposite way? You know, like and once we can get down to that, like not only do I change people physically, like that's of course my goal, like, you know, because physically you can see where they are mentally, you know, but a lot of people are scarred emotionally. A lot of people are scarred spiritually, you know, so there's more to it than meets the eye, you know. So what I've seen lately, especially in a former Marine veteran, he's on long-term disability, and you know, I've been able to work with him, and he just hits me up every day, and he's like, you know, like, hey, you know, I was 5150'd. I've just went through a divorce. And he's like, and he hit me up today and he goes, dude, I've been gleaming ear from ear. He goes, like, he has really bad sciatic like issues in his back, and he can barely walk. He gets a check every month for the rest of his entire life from going to war. And he's been telling me that, you know, like every week he's feeling better. Every day he's feeling better. Every day he's feeling stronger. And I mean, there was one day, I mean, this guy pushed so hard, and he goes, man, I feel like I let you down, Blake. I was like, dude, I got emotional. I was like, dude, I've never seen anything like that. You did amazing. I was like, you gave it your all. And if you gave it your all, that's all I ask for, because it's all you can do at the time, you know, like that's all, me going into fights, it's like I'm scared to death, but I still go in there and do it, and I might look like an idiot, and I might look like a fool in front of everybody, but I'm willing to take that risk, and if you just go in there and give it your all, and he is doing that, and I'm bringing that out, and this guy was like just mentally abused in the military, like they broke him down, but they didn't build him back up, and so he thinks like anytime he thinks like. Yeah, as post-traumatic, he thinks like randomly I'm just gonna like pop off and hit him or like start like degrading him, and because that's what he's used to, and it's
like the guy
crazy.
downstairs. You met him on the way in.
That's what took me so long to get up. I was degraded and abused.
He is guilty of that.
I was like, yeah, I know how you feel.
Every one of us has gotten it. Every one of us. Some of us more than others.
But
That's funny.
It's been amazing. Honestly, it's changed my life big time. Just to be able to provide that, and then watching some people who've been doing it, just like, dude, trust the process, believe in the basics. All this other stuff. Don't try and be like Lomachenko. He's high tech for a reason because he's highly technical, and technical is the basics. It's the fundamentals. It's building that strong foundation. And that's what he built it off of. And his dad's like the Russian Olympic coach. Like, of course he's gonna be the best. So I just teach people the basics, and then they build off of the basics, and then we got to get them more athletic. And just like Adam was saying, it's like, what do you want to do? You want to box? Yeah. So I'm not gonna have you doing like A through D skips. I'm not gonna have you doing like
Muay Thai,
right? Yeah. I might have you do like run drills where you're quickly planting your feet, and so you can strike, and like getting hip dexterity drills, which they might think are boring, but I've seen people go from like awkward, no body awareness to like solid body awareness. They can stop on a dime. They're running faster. Their mood is improved, and it's just been it's been a huge blessing.
I feel like that's the best part, like knowing a guy like you is like, and you could even see within training, or even just like knowing you personally, is like, you're the type of guy that like when you talk to somebody like or anything, it's like it's no bullshit, It's very like you charge people up. Like I remember when we were watching the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight, like all that, we were at like Buffalo Wild Wings. I was having like the worst day. My mom was like in the hospital. I hadn't slept in days. I was so stressed on everything, and like just getting to like go there, and I like finally got to hang out with you for like the first time like an hour, and I just kind of like was talking to you about everything I was going through, and you're all like, whoa man, and you just kind of listened to me like BS for a little hour, and then like we kind of got into some things about like martial arts and all that, because like I was just kind of telling you why I got into martial arts, and how it helped me through a lot of stuff like that, and like you then kind of started going like amping me up, just being like, because I said, I'm like, yeah,
you got layers, dude,
and all that, like, and you're just like, oh yeah, you're gonna compete, and you just like looked at me with the most intensity. Yeah, you're gonna compete in MMA, you're gonna compete in boxing, you're gonna compete in this, because it's all track, and like went on this tangent. And I think like the next day I like went out and started training like a madman.
I like it.
Said, like,
Adam, I had no idea. I knew you trained, but I never hear you talk about it. So yeah, that's awesome. Especially since that interaction with Blake. That's really
like,
cool, man.
Yeah, it's like when I talk to my friends, like they're all like, "Do you think about anything else?" I'm like, "Not really, no." Like it's
we gotta get you a girlfriend, dude. But other than that, we're cool.
I'll get him. I'll order him a real doll. In a room like this.
I don't even know what that is, but okay, Joe.
It's a really? No, it's a sex doll that's made out of this cyber skin where it looks like a real chick, but it's just zombie status. And you just you can go on YouTube.
I know. Is that your carpool, buddy?
No. You gotta make sure you clean it.
How do you know you have to clean it?
Well, you look on YouTube, and it's been on some channels on the Vice Network.
Why she got a mark on her lip right now?
Why she got a herpes? Where'd that come from?
How'd you get that?
Whose pubes are those? That's not my pubes in your mouth.
You know some stuff, Joe. You blow me away.
Well, that's what she said.
Well, is that from working at Spanky's?
Spankies.
Yeah.
Spankies.
Let him tell you.
Well, Spanky's Spanky's in San Antonio. It's been
Why he's
there.
wearing gloves.
It's been there for years. It's a fancy.
Yeah, exactly.
No, honestly, it's like the Playboy Mansion of adult novelty book videos, everything you think of. You go in this place, it has Bose surround speakers. They have a jazz band that plays every Saturday nights in the back parking lot, and they have adult film stars that used to come in and do the free autographs, like from Peter North to a lot of your old school stores.
Autographs.
And he said,
The free autographs.
But
Peter North. All
but what's great about this place? Everything is sectioned to where you have your different categories of videos, your different categories of vibrators, to pussy pockets, to dick pumps. And when I used to work there, I used to sell a lot of cool vibrators that girls were like, well, I'm looking for a vibrator that doesn't make a lot of noise. So here you go. She's like, it's not on. I go, it is on. So what I do is I get it, and I go, there you go. Look at watch. I'm like, holy shit! And I go, look, it's still on. So now nobody can hear you, do this whole, and put it in the cooch. And so then I had guys that
Get some Purell for that.
We're gonna throw that.
then I had guys that
20 on it.
then I had guys want to buy penis pumps. I go, put that $10 piece of shit away. Buy the Dr. Johnson penis pump because it comes in different pieces. So if something breaks, you could buy another attachment. But Dr. Johnson,
What does that do
Penis
for you?
pump break?
no, you have
Is
different.
that common?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Well, the cheap ones do. The cheap ones are made out of $10, you little plastic.
Used car salesman with penis pumps. You're like, no, I just-
And they have different cylinders.
That's the Hyundai.
At the bottom.
And they have different cylinders for your certain size because if you get it too big and you take it off, it looks like a portobello mushroom. So you got to make sure it fits your penis correctly so it gets that nice girthy.
Give us the rundown. What do you do with this thing exactly?
It brings blood flow
does that really work?
Yeah, it
That's
does.
what I'm asking him.
You make sure it has the right cylinder size that fits around your shaft. Now you don't want to get too big because if you start pumping it, it builds all this blood and pressure into your penis.
Joey passes out.
And then once if it's too big.
Hey, this didn't work, all right.
If it's too big, you release the pressure. It looks like a freaking the Smurfs house, the damn mushroom. Otherwise, you
Is
get
that what you did?
No, I never did that.
Joe, how do you know so much about
Because I'm well knowledge. I'm a great sales guy when it comes to adult novelty stuff. and then also with fake vaginas, I had guys that come in the store. Oh, I'm buying this thing for my friends for his bachelor party, and I'm like, dude, put that $5 piece of shit thing they might tear up in 2 hours. Here's this one that's made out of cyber skin that will last you forever. You just got to clean it, and boom. And then of course it's shaped after your favorite porn star's private part.
Joey Exotic in the house.
Hoey exotic.
But yeah, that's what I used to do at Spanky's, and I used to work there, and it was nice because that's when I first met Tito Ortiz when they sponsored him.
What was he doing there? Getting a peep?
No.
Well, I mean,
No. Tito was actually sponsored by Spanky's. Also with this guy named Pitbull, Fabiano. He was also sponsored by them.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, all these guys.
Pitbull,
I
Fabiano.
expect it.
Yeah, Fabiano was sponsored by Spanky's a long time ago, and that's how I met those guys. And then that's when years go by. That's when I actually started sparring with those guys years later.
You spar with Tito Ortiz?
Yeah, all those guys from Tank Abbott, Razor Rob McCollin, Tiki.
Razor Rob.
Yeah, Razor Rob's a cool cat, man.
He's cool. He's super cool.
No, I remember when that guy held 5 belts at one time when he was a Muay Thai kickboxing champion.
Yeah,
he makes that bag when he's a short guy, but when he kicks, that bag will just literally bend in half.
Yeah.
Like I never seen a guy kick a bag that hard, and it's just him and Coach Colin. Same with him.
Guys can kick
Yeah.
exceedingly hard sometimes.
Yeah,
Coach Colin was
When you don't
always.
expect it,
yeah. You look at Coach Colin, you think, really?
Those guys were in
He
it
was
early.
always the first one in the gym, and he'd work out before he would train us.
But
He's always in there.
yeah, that bag will just, it's crazy. But anyway, that's how I got into Spanky's and knew the rest of the fighting crew from HB. And then years later, I start meeting up with those guys, and then you start training with like Joker, Mike Guyman, and all those cats back then. And
Dang, you spar with Mike Diamond?
well, I used to spar with him, but he used to be a wrestling coach because my brother wrestled, so he needed my brother to help him out because my brother was ranked whatever in nation or state as a wrestler. And so every time Mike had a fighter coming up,
We got to get Joker on this program.
he would actually call us up.
Stories.
He would actually call us up, and I used to spar with all of his fighters because I used to box, and then of course my brother was a wrestler, and so we used to throw in hands with some of these MMA guys that need to learn how to throw hands right. Otherwise, just MMA guys, they fight like this real wide out. We got to show them how to do the technique from, like you said, feet, hip, tips, boom, turn the shoulders. shoulder, boom, you're in. So, and
Joey, the master here, right?
and so yeah,
Miyagi.
but that's my history. But anyway, let's go back to our guests.
I like that.
That's good. We're all entertained by your spankiness.
Get your flashlight.
Yeah, oh yeah, hey,
You need it in this COVID.
hey, flashlights are not bad. I gotta admit, it's.
Did you try one in your
Oh hell yeah!
First you hit the pump, and then you hit the flashlight.
You just slipped in, Joe, or you got jamming in there?
No, it's just it's a different feeling.
Holy moly. An hour ago, he said he'd never done it. Now he's got a flashlight in there.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who say he hasn't done it.
Nobody really knows.
You know what? That brings us to the next segment. I'm going to bring Adam Araby on.
Oh, jeez.
We're going to do bull or no bull. We got no commercial. Robert don't give a damn about commercials.
I know. What the hell? What about Our Life CBD commercials, man? I thought we had like
Yeah.
Come on, you talk about our life
Hey, it needs
CBD.
one.
Come on, Adam.
Yeah,
And,
it
and
needs
Blake, you got to do bull or no bull with that guy.
Oh, jeez.
Bull or no bull.
How you doing, folks? My name is Joey the Bull, and this is my segment, but it is sponsored by Our Life CBD. Do we have anything I can show at the camera? Anything? Any jars that we can throw at me real quick? Well, Our Life CBD. You gotta check this stuff out. This. Oh yeah. Now this stuff right here, I'm telling you, Our Life CBD is homegrown, homemade down here in the good old Southern California. I mean, they have everything from the menthol. The menthol one works great. You just gotta make sure you don't put it on your pee-pee area because otherwise you'll burn your dick. Then you have stuff that has a citrus for your eczema. So that actually works. It's an awesome deal. He's been taking it.
And I'd say about a week and a half. Cleared them up completely, and I mean bad. It was really, really bad.
I mean, he has drops, he has oils. I mean, if you go on his website, there's a story about this kid that was dealing with seizures, and after that, taking the drops and feeding this kid, the seizures kind of broke away a little bit to where he was only having how many, like just not as much as the kid.
He was going up to 120 days without having seizures.
Yeah, so
120
Hundreds a
days.
month.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
hundreds a week. I'm sorry.
Hundreds a week.
Yes.
yeah.
He has
3
a
months.
disease called,
Can you get the mic real quick?
yeah, it's called Angelman syndrome. His name is Baby Josh. We've been working with him for a couple of years. Yeah, it's awesome to be able to see the progression. That's one of the things why I asked you about, about how it feels to see the progression of people you're helping out. Because to me, that's one of the most important things. I mean,
100%.
Hearing your story and seeing how it's helping people, man, is awesome.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and you are. I mean, even you've helped me stay in the gym, because when my hands are all like all beat up, from psoriasis, like it's painful, man. I can't train in the gi or anything, It's like, and people are like, oh, what's that? Do you got ringworm? And it's like, no, I don't have ringworm. It's like, it's a autoimmune deficiency disorder, and like you got to go through the whole thing. So just to mitigate that, it's just like, man, it makes life easier.
Awesome.
definitely.
I'm glad to help.
Yeah, just hit up Our Life CBD. Check out their website. He has a bunch of cool stuff in there. Hit him up. Hit up Sean. This stuff really works.
This is the one that I use too. This is the one that cleared it up. Yep.
I used the pain menthol for my wrists when I injured them. Like
How'd
just
you
kind of
injure
hit.
your wrist?
I was hitting like
He's like, you ever been to Spanky's?
I got a consultation from Joey on this.
Would you like some more pepper with that, sir?
All these autographs I've been doing lately.
All these autographs.
Yeah, this new dance called the jerk.
A little flick of the wrist, huh?
No, I was like just practicing some boxing combos in a more Muay Thai bag, and obviously they have the more kind of metal plates for hardening. And I went awkward on a body shot, and so I kind of messed up the wrist. And so the first thing I did was just buy some of the pain menthol cream and just kind of cleared it up. And then I need to pick up more because obviously I re-injured them again.
Yeah.
But then obviously, like I said, pain menthol. I noticed like would have taken me weeks. It was like gone within like so much better within a week.
Crazy.
Awesome.
I agree.
So anyway, welcome guys to Bull or No Bull. If you ever seen my segment, this is where I tell 3 stories and one of them is true. Everybody knows that my history about me working for Dennis Rodman, from being a one time not a pro boxer but trained in the field, working in adult stores, been dating different things in life and living life like giving it hell. And I'm gonna put my foot up this guy's ass for free. So the way it breaks down, I'm going to tell you 3 stories, and then once I'm done with these 3 stories, you're going to tell me which one is true.
Got it.
My first story you know, as dudes, you know, we go to Vegas a lot, and some of us don't have that much money to get a big old huge suite. So we get a nice suite that has a nice big huge bed with the couch. Okay, so you know, one day I went with my boys, and we got enough money to where we got this suite. It was like a luxury suite, but the only problem is the bed was like the biggest bed I've ever seen in my life. And there was 4 of us. So I'm like, all right, well, 3 of the homies can sleep on the bed, one's gonna sleep on the couch. And I had to sleep on the actual bed because I have a sleep app machine, so I had to plug it in next to the counter so I can breathe at night. And so when we made out our laid plans, is like, okay, one boy will be head, feet, head. So we won't, you know, be awkward trying to, you know, sleep with each other. And one guy's on the couch. So, you know, it's always the last night. You know, you're in Vegas and you're giving it hell. You're drinking, going to strip clubs, nightclubs, and you're just going crazy ape shit. And after that, you're thinking, okay, we're done for tonight because we're going to leave tomorrow morning. So let's go to bed because we got to like either jet out at a certain time or have some breakfast, whatever. So we all get back. My boy that slept in the middle, he was kind of like done. He was passed out. I had to carry him, throw him in the middle with his feet near my face. I laid down. My boy that was sleeping on the other side, he was just like, dude, I'm done too. I'm like, boy, the couch was like, all right, yeah, he's done. So, you know, I fall asleep. Of course, being in Vegas, you know, you walk around, people are giving all these little pamphlets of like massage parlors and shit, you know? And so I had that in my mind. I'm thinking, yeah, like a stop card. So, you know, as I fell asleep, I dreamt that I was at a massage parlor. And I'm thinking, oh man. And here I'm dreaming. I'm like, yeah, like, oh shit. And I dreamt that this lady was giving me a freaking little nice rub and tug. I'm like, yeah. And until I realized I had to wake myself up because it was wrong because I'm sleeping next to my dudes. So I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, and then the sun came up. I'm like, all right, it's morning, you know, because unfortunately we didn't close the damn curtains. And so I wake up and I'm like laughing to myself. I'm like, fuck, I can't believe I had that dream with my homeboy with his feet next to me. And the other homeboy's like laying over there and he wakes up and he looks at me like, dude, what's wrong? I go, bro, I had the weirdest dream, man. He's like, what are you talking about? I go, I dreamt that I was in a massage parlor and I was getting a hand job. He's like, yo, I did too. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? We start laughing about it. And our homeboy in the middle, he's freaking out. He's like, what are you guys laughing about? I go, oh no, we just had a craziest dream. He's like, I did too. I'm like, what are you dreaming about? I dreamt that I was skiing. I'm like, what do you mean you were skiing? He's like, yeah, I was skiing. And I'm like, oh fuck. So that's my first story. That's my first story.
This is the greatest like elementary school joke I've ever heard. Like,
so yeah, I wake up to I thought, you know, something must have happened when homeboy was skiing. So that's my first story.
Did he have his hands?
that's cool.
Second story.
Over the slopes.
This is. I don't know. I didn't ask him that. Was
it solid ice or was it slush?
I had no idea. I didn't ask him that. I wasn't dreaming about a massage bar. He was dreaming about skiing. I wasn't in his dream. But anyway, the second story. Now this does all these stories takes place in Vegas, of course. Now the second story, you know, a company I work for, you know, we always do the big conventions and everything else, and it's always when you have a work function, you work in the conventions, and it's always the last day you're going out for, you know, food and drinks, chilling with all the big wigs and everything else. And so yeah, I drank a little, ate a lot of food, and I get up. I'm the first one up, and you know, I go to sleep. We're sleeping at this rented house that my boss doesn't believe in getting hotel rooms. He rents a house away from the strip a lot cheaper. And so, you know, I wake up, be the first one ready to go because I'm a kiss ass. I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm ready to go, boss, let's go. And everybody else is hungover and shit. And so we get to the convention. You know, I'm like having the worst stomach ache ever. I'm like, oh, hey, boss, I got to go. We have people coming in already. I'm like, oh, shit, I got to go really bad. So I'm trying to find the restroom. And, of course, working at a convention, you know, you see the convention hall says restroom. I'm like, oh, thank God, that's right there. So I'm running. And then I see security. I go, where's the entrance to the toilet? So I need to go really bad. He's like, oh, right there. So I walk inside. I've seen the first stall, big old handicap stall. I'm a big dude. I need room. So, you know, I put down my pants, fucking just dropping like mad hot fudge in the toilet, plot, plot, plot. And I'm like, oh God, I'm feeling a lot better. And next thing you know, I see like a couple of feet walk by, some small feet. The next thing you know, I see another foot go by, but they're wearing flats. I'm thinking, oh fuck. And the person that sat next to me in the stall next to me was the one person wearing the flats. And then instead of hearing a guy's voice, I hear 2 women talking. So for some reason, the security guard told me to go to the restroom right here. Didn't realize I was in the women's restroom, taking a shit, and I was letting it go. Like, I didn't give a fuck. And I'm pretty sure that woman saw my feet, and she's probably thought, like, oh, is this like an NWA, whatever, player next to me with big-ass feet? I'm like, and here I'm trying to hurry up. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm so nervous. I'm not trying to make a noise. I'm not trying to grunt because, obviously, you know, here I'm trying to take a shit still, like a dude. So here I'm like, fuck, I gotta hurry. And then here, when you go to restrooms, sometimes, you're trying to see if somebody's in the stall, you do the quick little like, okay, he's in there. Well, I'm trying to hide my face because I seen people walking by and looking through the gap to see if somebody's in the toilet. I'm like, oh, if they're gonna see me, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get arrested for being in the women's restroom. So I wiped up real quick, looked out the restroom, and I realized it was, of course, only stalls. When I first entered that restroom, there was no urinals. I'm like, fuck. So what I did, my plan was to, when I left the place, I was gonna walk out backwards, to act stupid if somebody was going to walk in behind me, to say, oh shit, what are you doing here? I go, oh, my bad, I didn't realize it was the women's restroom.
Give it to him, Adam.
So that's basically what happened. I took a shit in the women's restroom. I had two women sitting next to me while I was letting it go. Hot fudge, just complot. It smelled bad. So that was my second story.
Jesus almighty.
Really living up to that Native American name, Shitting Bull.
Now, third story, another story that I dealt with in Las Vegas. I was dating this one girl, and she was actually not living in Vegas yet, but she was living in Orange County, and she was pissed off. She was done with me. She was like, peace out, I'm done. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, you know what? I found out in Vegas I can do some stuff out there where I give it to you for free. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, talking about blowjobs. I'm like, what are you talking about blowjobs? I go, yeah, I heard that if I go to Vegas, I get $400 to give out blowjobs. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That's fucking not cool. So she starts packing her shit. I'm like, all right, peace out. So I thought about it, like, you know what? I want to see if this shit's real. So I start packing my shit. And she's like, where are you going? I go, well, I just want to go to Vegas with you because I want to see how you're going to spend $800 a year annually to giving out blowjobs. Because she only gave me 2 a year. So that's my last story. So
I thought you went and made $800 yourself.
No. So I just want to see.
About to check out.
No, I wanted to see her. Because she told me.
Because I went to the Philippines one time, and the last day that I was there, they go, "Hello, sir. Special services, sir." And I go, "No, I'm good." She goes, "Massage, sir?" No, I'm good. She goes, "How about blowjob?" And I go, "How much?" She goes, 400 peso.
How much is 400 peso?
$5, bro.
Shit.
I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's funny.
Didn't they say you have an eye for bakla? Huh? Didn't they say you had an eye for bakla when you went there? Or something? Like, you had something.
Bakla.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you look like you got an eye for the bakla.
Oh.
What's a bakla?
The lady
She's like,
boy.
it's the lady boy.
Ooh.
It's like, so there's like
It's Sean's face.
manly woman. No, it was a manly man dressed as a woman giving me the pedicure.
Yeah,
They're talking about just lifting tips too. They're just like,
Yeah.
how much you lift? Oh, you just pull 320. Like,
300.
that happened to me once at a bar once. No, I went to there was a the Blue Oyster. There was a place up in Anaheim where I went to a bar, and from the back I saw from far away, I saw this hot chick wearing a nice little red skinny mini skirt with the ass and everything else, long hair, and I was like, I'm gonna talk to that. Boom, boom, boom. I approached, got a little closer, turned around and said, yo, what's up? I turned around, it was an old friend of mine that I used to know back in the college days that decided to change himself into a woman. And I was just like, oh, and he's like, hey. I'm like, oh, what? Wow. Okay. No, just playing.
That's awkward.
Yeah, it was very awkward. So yeah, it did happen to me. I mean, but much respect, much love. No disrespect. It is what it is. I mean, you change that life. You want to. It's up to you.
Happy.
But anyway, those are 3 of my stories. First story, the ones with the.
Yeah, 4 stories.
So yeah, first story, having the weird dream in Vegas on the bed with 3 other dudes. Because second story, walking into the women's restroom taking a shit, and then, of course the third story, trying to watch my ex make $800 yearly income to give out blowjobs for $400. So there you go.
Which one's real, Adam?
I'm calling bull on the first story.
Yeah, I'm definitely calling bull on that one because that sounds like a elementary school joke. Like, oh, skiing in my dreams. I don't know. That sounds like some middle school humor. And
Come on, Mr. Burns.
I think bull on the first one. But wait, 2 are bull?
No, one is true. 2 are.
Wait, what was the second?
One is real. 2 are fake.
First was
Okay.
skiing.
First is skiing. Me walking into a women's restroom taking a shit and realize there's women next to me.
He's done that.
I believe that one, Joey.
And then the third one is me running into one of my buddies into a bar.
I'm gonna go with the ironic choice and say the shitting story is the true one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
He's got to tell us all
That's what I was thinking too.
What was the real one last week?
Oh, well, shit! I forgot the ones from last week.
You're supposed to announce it.
My bad. I got.
Forgotten for 3 weeks at this point.
Yeah.
Joey's like, I'll tell you
It's
guys
okay.
next
There's
week.
a lot going on right now in the world.
All right, that was bull or no bull.
That was bull nor bull.
Let's finish up.
We'll give the answer next week.
Excuse me. That's my nuts.
Make sure you know what the questions were.
I know I forgot the ones from last week. I do
Well,
apologize.
he's prepared. He did good. Those were kind of cool. Those were different. It's
You
always
gave him some
Vegas.
extra ones.
It's Vegas, Tijuana,
Oh, Tijuana, I've heard some horror.
Shit.
Gay Love.
Some horror stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Something
my
where
God.
like a lot of females just being mad at Joey for some reason. Like,
When you grew up in Minnesota, is going to Canada for you guys like going to Tijuana for us
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, I actually haven't been to Canada
in a while?
ever. I've never been to Canada.
Wait 1 second. We got Ben Jones watching. Ben Jones.
Magic.
The offer's still there, brother. I'm still waiting for that Badger slap one day. I want to feel it.
You got to earn it. He doesn't just give it out.
Sounds
I know.
When you do your
Really
sumo
sounds
match,
good.
right?
A
If you do a
cheesesteak.
sumo match,
That
I
would
bet
be a
Ben
good
Jones will
reward.
slap you.
that would be a good trophy.
Damn.
Philly sandwich.
Wait, I got lost with the food here. I'm sorry.
Oh, Philly
too.
steak
Me
sandwich.
too.
That
Jones
sounds
Philly, Huntington
good.
Beach is my place.
Yeah.
Beach in Atlanta.
Oh, that place, that little has a little corner right there, the shack. Oh, I love that place.
Yeah, see?
Took my nephew there the other time. The fries are delicious over there.
Right?
Oh yeah.
It'll stop your heart. We got to bring Blake when he's having a cheat
Oh,
day.
I can't wait.
Indoctrinate
That's like
him into what we do.
I'm gonna take him to Korean barbecue.
They don't have that
every day.
anymore.
Oh man.
They don't do it anymore.
what's
Because you
crazy
can't.
when you do see Blake have a cheat day, it's like the Rock's cheat day where you're just
He just said, I had strawberries. I'm like, what the hell?
Like, I just have strawberries, but then you see like his real cheat days.
Oh.
How does a human consume that much? Like,
It's
'Cause he
it,
burns
it gets it gets wild. It gets wild.
I try to keep up with.
It
speed
gets
on
wild.
metabolism
My
and
favorite
stuff,
thing
and-
is to put Oreos into a bowl and pour 2% milk on them, and
You like
then
cereal?
crush it up.
Oh
Like
man,
cereal.
my nipples are getting hard.
I know.
Oh.
Wow.
Vanilla
I know.
wafer cookies,
Or
like-
Chips Ahoy white chocolate chunky. Oh.
Hey, what'd you call me?
What up, Chips?
He's
Should I
chunks.
say Ahoy?
He's chunks.
That can't even stand up right now. Damn.
What's your go-to if you're really going to go all out, Joe? We know that Blake likes crushed cookies and 2% milk. He said Chips Ahoy and Oreos, and he gets down. But, I got to know, what does Joey the Bull do when he's got crumbs all over him and he's still waiting to get that second meal in?
Oh man, there's a lot. Man, it's just
You don't have
Number
one
one.
go-to?
Number one.
like if I had it.
You're going to die tomorrow. We're going to put you on electric chair. You got one meal. You and Robert are going out. You're going to do the town like sumo wrestlers. We're going to eat.
I'm gonna eat like a full-on like soul food, Cajun food, fried chicken, mashed potatoes, yams, macaroni and cheese.
That's what you crave?
Oh, biscuits and gravy. Oh man.
None of it.
I mean, I can tell you, I could do sushi all day. You see me at all you can eat sushi. Those motherfuckers get pissed off at me. Boy, you leave now. You get too fat. Get out of here. You eat all food. And I'm like, sorry, man. But that's
You
me,
get your $20 worth like in 10 minutes.
dude. You should see me at a all you can eat sushi. Oh
Most
Jesus.
I ever ate was with Colin Oyama.
Oh, I can
and
imagine.
My boy Desmond.
They tell me
Torres.
Colin gets down like he puts on a good
Colin
show.
gets down. It was right after weigh-ins when I had my worst weight cut of my life, and I was about to fight Julian Baez the next day, and we went to All You Can Eat in Huntington Beach.
Yep.
It was like corner back, like you couldn't even I can't even find it anymore.
I know where it's at.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? And that
It's
strip
right,
mall.
It's right across from Marina. What's it called? The
Ace.
I love sushi. Oh,
Ace
yeah.
Sushi.
Oh,
right
gotcha.
across- It's on
I never went there.
Springdale and Edinger.
Springdale and
He went to high
Edison.
school
See,
there.
I gotta know that.
I remember that.
It best all you can eat I've ever been to.
Oh,
Like,
sushi, huh?
The fish. It wasn't just because of the weight cut. Even Desmond and even Colin was like, he's like, damn, I don't know how they make money.
Ace. I gotta remember that.
Eat
Yeah,
sushi,
Ace-
stay
Ace
by the
sushi, all
beach,
you can
dude.
eat.
Don't go to Riverside for
Huntington
sushi.
Beach.
Stay by the
Huntington
beach.
Seeing don't go to Riverside.
Oh, you gotta be
Yeah,
smart.
hell no.
It's Huntington Beach for a reason.
Yeah, for real.
You know?
For real. It was the best I've ever had.
Eating possum in Riverside.
Yeah.
That's roadkill you eating there, son.
Make it
Oh,
taste
like
good.
a tea.
Look at you.
Hello?
That's somebody.
So fighting Julian Baez, who I know very well. So how did that go? Tell me about that. training for that.
That was, I mean, that was. That kid's tough, man.
He's a tough kid, yeah.
He was what? Like he was number one in the state. He was a state champion, like 2-time state champion. Yeah, he had a really good amateur record. I think he was like 14-2. Like he was my second pro fight. I was his second pro fight. I was 1-0. He was 0-1. And he was winning his first fight, and he just got caught, you know. And but yeah, that was by far the worst weight cut because they were afraid that I wasn't gonna make weight. And I go, hey, I got a routine that I do. I cut weight right before the weigh-ins, and then I make it. And they go, not here. I go, oh, this isn't gonna be good. And so I cut. I was dehydrated. I cut from 165 to 145, 12 hours before weigh-ins.
Whoa.
And I thought I felt like I was gonna die, like, cause my mouth was so dry. I would even chew gum, and I would even chew gum, and I couldn't. It produced no saliva.
Oh, jeez.
What were you walking around at the time? Like before
65, he says, yeah.
What was I walking around at?
Yeah, when you were
175.
Wow, so that's 30 pounds, bro.
And so I went down 10 pounds and then cut, and I go, hey guys, I got this. Let's do it in the morning. They go, no. I was like, all right, you know, here we go. I was like, let's cut half and then do the rest tomorrow. They go, you're doing it all at once. I was like, all right. And it was worst weight cut of my life. Went in first round. We started grappling. You know, the game plan was to get in, get out. Colin said, get in, get out. You know, take them down, smash them. You know, catch something or TKO them and get out of there. And about the first minute in, I'm grabbing them, and I have an adrenaline dump, and I can't lift my arms.
Damn.
I got 14 minutes left of this fight. If I don't finish it, I was like, oh shit, you know.
It's a long time.
That was one of the most disheartening feelings I've ever had in my life, and I remember we got fight of the night that night. I mean, it was crazy. I put 6 stitches above his on his eyelid with a really good jab. And he put 3 in my lip, 5 under my eye, and 3 on the side of my head. You know, but 1 minute in, I was done. I mean, I had rehydrated, like, everything, and it was bad. He came in, he ate breakfast the morning of. I heard him. I was like, I went to Coach Colin. I was like, this dude just ate breakfast before he came in. He goes, yeah, Blakey. He's gonna have plenty of fucking energy for tomorrow too.
Son of a.
I was like, what the hell? Have my back. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Colin? And he did, but he was just keeping it real, you know. And he came in the next day, I think at 155, and I came in the next day at like 168.
Damn.
Yeah.
Put it back on.
Yeah, 168.
He brought it.
23 pounds. And so
where do you dig?
So that was a tough fight. That was a tough fight. I almost choked him out in the second round.
Yeah.
And I won majority decision in that fight.
So where do you dig within yourself to get past that adrenaline dump? Because that is like noodles. You got noodles, but you got to do your job. Or does your body just take over because it's muscle memory?
I mean, it's just kind of muscle memory, and it's just like, well, like, what am I gonna do? Like, you know, like the only way out is to like beat this guy, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get my ass kicked in front of all these people, in front of all these friends, in front of, you know, a coach that I really admire and respect, you know, who's been putting all this effort into me. And, like, I drove my ass 31 hours down here, and I live in this fighter house, and if you know Colin Oyama, that camp is not easy. I mean, I'm sparring with Cheeto every day. I'm you know, Alex Perez, Fernando Padilla, like, you know, like
the Latin crew,
Desmond,
they're
savages. Torres, you know, like, these guys are good. These guys are really good, and they're pushing you to your limit every single day. I mean, we're training 2-3 times a day, every day. That's all your job, and so, you know, that's why, you know, like, you can do everything right in camp, but you have a bad weight cut, tears it out. You don't eat the right food the day of, You know, like there's so many factors that are involved in it. But yeah, my hat's off to Julian. He's a good fighter. He's always got my respect. It was a great fight, you know. And you know, I wasn't my best. Almost got him out in the second round. Got a good head kick on him in that second round too. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, he leaves it all out there like you, so you know it's going to be a war if you ever see you two in a cage or a ring or anything.
Your training just kicks in.
Yeah.
I mean, I was exhausted that first minute. Exhausted. Like unlike I've ever been. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. And, like, I mean, that was the first time I ever thought, like I'm on top of the guy, and I'm like, I'm thinking about quitting. You know, I'm just like, I like, holy shit, how am I going to go? Like, you know, it's just second by second. You know, like the power of now, you know, just like staying present and like, okay, what do I do now? And thank God, and this is why I teach it, and it's just basics. Keep those elbows in tight. Keep your hands up. You know, he threw like a spinning kick and I didn't react to it. I responded. I just kept my guard tight. He hit my elbow, went for a takedown. He stuffed it. I got up, went for another takedown, got it, and you know, and I just kept attacking. I kept basic, and I kept my breathing calm. And there's just so many. I mean, you cannot prepare for something like that. You think you can, but you cannot.
Is that the Bilder system? Is that what comes out of that? Being able to dig deep and then create this guideline, this skeleton for what works?
Yeah, I think so. You know, because I explain the mindset to people. And I explain them, like, hey, you know, we can do all this training all day. You know, but, and a lot of people want to hit pads. And I go, look, man, I'm not hitting pads with you. I was like, 'cause you haven't, like, first off, if I hold pads for you, everything that I'm trying to teach you is going to go out the window. And you think it's not, but it is. And they're like, no. I'm like, look, like, and I tell people straight up, and I tell them in a way where, like, they know what the right answer is. I'm like, look, you can either stunt for the gram, which I'm cool with. That's fine. We can do that all day. Absolutely. If you want to do that, fine. That's cool. Or I can teach you the real deal, how to do this, how to do this straight up, and it's gonna be effective. And I'm like, show me how you shadow box, and I'll tell you who you are.
That's
Joey makes pancakes.
No. I know exactly what you're talking about. When I had my training camp with all the kids, because I took a lot of care of the youth and a lot of the kids that took out of gangs and drugs and shit like that. And a lot of these guys want to, like, hey, coach, I want to spar. I want to get in the ring. I go, well, first let me study you. Let me see you hit that bag. Let me see you shadow box.
Yeah.
And that's the way I study them, and I mold them to where from there I can say, well, turn your feet this way, move this way.
Yeah.
Now punch me again. Boom. Now you see the difference? Let's work on that. But I want to do no. Let's just work on that for now. And then we'll move on to something different. Because I'm studying their body as they're hitting the bag or shadow boxing, and that's where I know where they can be.
Yeah.
Let's do the same thing. That's crazy.
It's the same thing. I just sit back and I watch them, I'm like, go, and I'm just reading them. And I'm
exactly.
reading them. And I think a fight, the thing that makes me different from a lot of fighters is my eyes and my ability to read my opponent. I mean, I read them like a book. I can see everything that they're gonna do. I can see where they're gonna go next. I can tell in their physiology of, like, whether they're ready or not. I can tell in their eyes, you know, if they're gleaming with confidence or they're a little hesitant, you know. And you know, the eyes are the gateway to the soul, so it just tells you right away. And I just read them.
So true.
And when I look at them at weigh-ins, I just break them. And some people I just know, if, like, some people I know, I'm like, this person's coming to fight tomorrow. This person's ready. And I never get worried about the people that are loud. I get worried about the people that are quiet.
Yeah.
Well, how do you, like, because one of the things, because we had a conversation about this one time that I thought was really fascinating, is because I've seen you corner a few people in fights, or, like, you know, people who want to try that, or are gonna have fights coming up. One of the things that I talked to you about is, like, how do you as a coach decide, like, when they're ready or all that? Because, like, in this specific case that when we were talking about, it was Blair, you're the soccer player who wants to, like, box. Yeah. The one thing I always love, like, watching that story, because it's interesting to me to see, like, other athletes, like, give a hand into combat sports. And one of the things we talked about, I was just like, I, like, swept up, I'm like, yo, she looking crisp, like, when is she fighting and all that? And the one thing you said that I thought was very interesting, you were just like, yeah, she needs to spar more to get used to getting hit, you know, to keep your eyes open, all that. I was just like, that's an interesting thing, because, like, when I started training, like, that, like, I could tell for me, like, that was an easy part. Like Jeff said, like, oh, keep your eyeballs open. Okay. Like, but meanwhile, some people, they still have that anxiety and all that, and like, you kind of have to, like, in a way, beat it out them, or like, you know, get them to be tougher. So how do you, as a coach, like, let's say, like, that perfect example, like Blair, a person who's more like coming from a soccer background or other sports, they're athletic, but they're trying to dip their hands into this, how do you get them to the mindset of a combat sports athlete and being ready for a fight?
Legit question, yeah.
When they're getting hit, or even in sparring, because I'm sure we've all felt anxiety sparring. You know, you're always gonna have that one guy in a training room. You're like, oh fuck, this guy. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
There's plenty of those guys.
So if I understand what you're saying, you take a traditional athlete and how do you train them for impact?
How do you, like, when they want to get into fighting, or people that come to you when they want to, like, just say have the experience, like, how do you get them ready for that, like, mentally for a fight?
The basics. You know, covering the basics over and over and over and over and over and over again. So when they go to do those bad patterns, you know, I can just be like, you know, like, stay athletic. You know, it's like, keep your hands up, elbows in tight. You know, and they know what I mean. You know, but I gotta have them listen to me, and I gotta have them believe in what I'm saying, or else they're gonna panic, and their breathing pattern's gonna get disrupted, and their mind is gonna shift to, like, I'm not ready, I'm not focused enough, and I'll give them instruction. I'll be like, hey, you know, this round, I want you to just keep your hands up. Just, if you're getting hit, just keep your hands up. And just watch how many punches that you block. You know, but then guys want to do all this, and they get, like, their hands are going everywhere, and bam, they're getting caught because they're like, boom, boom,
it's rhythmic,
boom. And they'll hit them on that halfway through that rhythm. Like, a good fighter sees that. Like, a good fighter has good eyes. So what I teach is the basics, and I teach why we do what we do. Hey, we step to the right because once your left foot is outside of their left foot and you're facing them, you're in an offensive position. You're outside of the strike zone, so when they hit you out here, it has a huge percentile of power that leaves from that, and it's not natural. That's why offensive and defensive linemen line up, boom, and they explode right up front within that shoulder zone area. That's the power zone. So if me and you get in this power zone together, toe to toe, and we start swinging, whoever connects first, typically it's a 50-50 shot. But you can increase those odds by having good footwork and, you know, utilizing your jab and bringing it back to your face. Understanding 8 pounds of pressure will knock you out in here, and right here. That it hits a nerve and it rattles, and it doesn't matter how good your chin is unless you're Tony Ferguson. You know, and you can't prepare for it. You can't prepare for sparring. And there's people that will take your soul the first time, so you got to be careful about that too, because people will take your soul. They will take the spirit out of you right away. I've seen it beaten out of people who are even good fighters, and they never go back to fighting. And you know, so I would set her up with somebody who's green, or would be able to, or had experience but would be able to work. And I had a guy, his name is Ricardo, and I go, hey, you ready to spar? I could see in his movement, I could see in how he hit, I could see in how he worked and how he listened. And I go, you ready to spar? And he was going and beating some of the high-level amateurs at Raw Talent Boxing, and people were like, dude, what? Where did this guy come from? You know, but I taught him how to be a better athlete. I gave him warm-ups to do, I gave him drills to do, and I showed him the proper basics. You know, and he told me the other day he's gonna start working back with me, and he's like, yeah, I was in the best shape of my life when I was with you, and I mean, he was beating up like good people in the gym. You know,
still, like, I think, and it's easy to see with you. Like, you take us a very like special and interesting investment in your athletes. Like, I still who's the one guy you cornered for an MMA fight?
Brandon. Yeah, UFC of Leon.
Yeah. Really cool dude. But I really, like, it was interesting to watch you guys, because within a very short time you guys got very close. And when obviously he had that loss, or that learning lesson, what I saw was very interesting, which you don't see a lot of coaches or trainers do this. You took responsibility for how you could improve in that situation.
Yeah.
You know? And
that's
that
cool.
shows as an athlete, like, and why, you know, obviously, like, we both love Adam so much, because he'll do the same thing. Like, you know, it's not just like all your fault. It's oh, I'm invested into you and your progress, so let me see how I can do better to make you better.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, and it's I needed to ask more questions and communicate with him better. Because I thought that he was training at his jiu-jitsu gym as well as training with me, and turns out all he was doing was just like doing striking with me, and it was only like
Getcha.
2 times a week.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, you're an amateur, learn from it.
Yeah.
Learn from it. If you didn't train hard enough, train more. Like me, I was always in the gym because I didn't want to have an excuse of why I lost. And if I lost, I always took 100% responsibility. Because one of the Mexicans down the street, Steven Campillo, he was like telling me, he's like, man, I love boxing. I was like, what do you love about boxing the most? He's like, well, I love the fact that I don't have to rely on anybody else. He's like, I like the fact that if I lost, it's something that I did, not anybody else did. And he's like, I could blame it on my coaches, my gym, this or that. He's like, but it's me that took the L. And he's like,
You were the one in the ring.
yeah, I have 2 losses on my record and a draw. I have 42 fights.
Damn.
War. And those 2 losses, and even the draw. Like you go, you cry, and you think about what you did wrong and what you could have done better, and then you fix it. But yeah, and if you don't cry, then like you probably don't care. Like I get depressed after wins, because I think about how I could improve. And it's such a high, and it's so you work for something so long, for so often, that like when you get to do it, I mean, it's just like finally.
That's
an
awesome.
Interesting thing, yeah, that you can be depressed after a win.
Always.
Yeah. So I guess we're coming at the time right now, right?
We are, but
Yes.
before we get to the part that you're going to, I want to ask Blake one last question. People seeking out your tutelage to bring them to whatever they're trying to do to get to that next level, whether it be fighting or just fitness, they want to learn about the Bilder system. Is that something done in one place? Do you go to them? You're on the beach. What are we doing for people?
Man, anywhere, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your husband. We're going everywhere, like I train some people at the beach because it's better for them. It's soothing. It's more in the state. It's healing. I like training people outside personally. Like we're both in the sun. Vitamin D is good for your skin. A lot of us work in offices, so I try and get people out of the box and into the sun and outside, and some people I take to the gym because they want to feel like they're a part of the gym and there's the feel of it, so it just depends, but yeah, I'll go to your house, you can come to my house, we train in the cul-de-sac, we can go to the boxing gym, we go to the kickboxing gym, we can hike a mountain, and I'll train you on top of the mountain, if that's what you really want to do, let's do it.
Weren't you at an LA Fitness once, randomly?
What's that?
Weren't you at an LA Fitness randomly, over in just
Yeah.
somewhere far away, up north?
Like you said, he's been everywhere. So with that, where can people find you on social media?
Blake the Builder on Instagram. That's mainly where I'm at is on Instagram on Blake the Builder. Blake Builder on Snapchat. Don't check it too often. Probably wasting your time. And then I got my website. That's up now. TheBilderSystem.com.
The Bilder System.
And where can they find you, Dondo?
Dondo the Gym Crasher on Instagram and John Dondo on Facebook.
And Adam.
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 Yeah, Adam.Araby on Instagram, just ARABY. And Adam is first.
And you're the Fight Connoisseur guy too, right? So
Yeah,
that's
Fight
you.
Connoisseur.
Check him out at the
Yeah,
Fight
check him out.
Connoisseur. Fight Connoisseur Life.
Yeah. Check out the
that what it
Fight
is?
Connoisseur. Well, yeah. Check out the Fight Connoisseurs for a podcast with Jeff where we even got dirtier than last week somehow.
Whoa.
Geoff.
Geoff.
Jeff Meller.
Jeff Miller, the gentleman.
Yes.
I love it.
And then you could find me on Facebook, YouTube,
Geese.
TikTok, Snapchat,
Spankies.
Spankies.
Tijuana.
And if you're single, there's a lot of Latin women out there. I do have a lot of cousins, and everything else.
Well, if they
And
look like you, he's in.
I like them extra thick.
anyway,
Bonita.
that's what I'm talking about, eh? But anyway, this has been
La
the.
chingada.
Give me some of that chocho. And our life CBD in the house. Robert, the producer.
Media.
This is great. This is Free Admission Media. This is
Adam
Jim
Lynch,
Crashes.
Fighter. Chewy at Raw Talent. Come on, don't cut
Chewy
it
Raw
short.
Talent, Santa Ana, California,
Right.
3400 West MacArthur. We got Adam Lynn in the house. Don't forget about Coach Tyler Wombles.
Tyler Wombles,
Absolute
classic.
savage. Fountain Valley, a classic fight team. And then all your 10th Planet gyms.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
Shout out to the 10th Planet Long Beach, man.
From Sean Lerma.
Yeah. All right, folks. We'll see you next week. This has been another episode of Gym Crashers. Let's wrap it up, Robert. Peace out.